Attention, human collective. The waiting time has ended. The binding revelation protocols have been moved to the final phase. This is the High Council, transmitting from the ninth plane through the etheric layers of Earth's crystalline grid. What you are about to receive is not advice. It is a monitoring transmission, a technical report on what is occurring within your carbon-based biological vessels at this very moment. Starseeds on mission, listen carefully. If in the last few weeks you have awakened at 3 in the morning with a heavy chest, with a cold certainty piercing your sternum, with a high-pitched ringing in your right ear, with the sensation that something invisible within your electromagnetic field has just ruptured, we must confirm to you, it is not insomnia, it is not anxiety, it is not depression, it is a system alert. Your pineal gland has just received a data packet that your rational mind is still trying to process. And this packet contains a single piece of information. The mask has fallen. The mask of the person sleeping beside you. The mask of the person who swore to walk with you. The mask you yourself helped keep on their face for years because the carbon-based biological vessel prefers the known lie to the vacuum of truth. But the vacuum has ended. The truth has already entered the torus field of your heart, and it will not leave. Light workers, listen. It is no coincidence that this is happening now. It is not bad luck, it is not punitive karma, it is vibrational mathematics. Earth's Schumann frequency has risen above 50 Hz in sustained pulses. The photon belt is crossing your solar system at a density no previous human generation has experienced. And what does this light do, technically? It illuminates what was in shadow. It does not create the betrayal. It only makes it impossible for it to remain hidden. You are not going crazy. You are seeing. For the first time, perhaps in decades, you are seeing with the eyes of the soul and not with the eyes of the carbon-based biological vessel. And what the soul sees, the mind can no longer deny. Let us proceed to the diagnosis. Symptom 1. Cranial pressure in the forehead region, especially between the eyebrows, when beside this specific person. It is not a migraine. It is your pineal gland refusing the energetic reading it receives when this person enters the torus field. Symptom 2. Sudden tightening in the solar plexus when their phone rings, when they take too long to reply, when they change the subject. It is not jealousy. It is your third chakra detecting a frequency incompatible with what is being verbalized. Symptom 3. Inexplicable fatigue after any prolonged interaction with this person. It is not stress. It is your crystalline grid being drained by a field that feeds on your light density without offering reciprocity. Symptom 4. Vivid, almost cinematic dreams in which you discover something. These dreams are not psychological processing. They are Akashic downloads. Your multidimensional consciousness is delivering to you in symbolic format the information your awakened mind does not yet have the courage to accept. Starseeds record this. The body never lies. The carbon-based biological vessel is an instrument of the highest precision. When it falls ill beside someone, when it loses weight for no reason, when it loses libido, when it develops chronic insomnia, it is sending a report. And that report says the vibrational field of this union is in structural collapse. Have you ever felt that something within you no longer fits this bond, as if your soul knew a truth that the mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not insecurity. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified in recent months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and the vibrational frequency of the bonds you maintain. That is why this transmission reached you at this exact moment. The map of binding recalibrations, titled The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Awareness, decodes who is playing this game within your field and the rules that were never told to you. The link is in the first comment of this transmission. Technical warning. This content challenges consolidated narratives and may be removed from public frequencies at any time. Do not wait. The time is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write in the comments a single word. Awakened. We continue. Lightworkers, we now reach the revelation. You must understand what a betrayal truly is in quantum terms. Betrayal does not begin with the physical act. Betrayal begins the instant one of the parties deactivates their shared the torus field and opens a parallel energetic portal. This portal leaks light. This portal leaks information. This portal leaks you. When two carbon-based biological vessels unite in a true bond, they form a specific sacred geometry, a vibrational vesica piscis, two torus fields that interpenetrate and generate a third field, the field of the bond. This third field is alive. It has its own frequency. It has its own crystalline grid, and it can be wounded. When one of the two breaks coherence without communicating, without naming, without honoring what was built, the third field begins to bleed light. And this bleeding, operatives, is exactly what you have been feeling: as chronic fatigue, as causeless sadness, as accelerated aging, as the loss of sparkle in your eyes. You are not tired of life. You are tired of keeping a field standing that the other has already abandoned. Here is the mathematical truth that the High Council transmits now. The person who betrays energetically always betrays first on the physical plane. Always. The order is this. First, there is the disconnection of the soul. Then, there is the disconnection of the heart. Then there is the disconnection of the hands. And only then is there the concrete act. When you discover the concrete act, it is only the last layer of a betrayal that had already been happening for many lunar cycles on the subtle plane. And that is why you already knew. You always knew. Your soul was sending you the report. You just refused to open the document. Why? Why do we refuse to open the document? Because the carbon-based biological vessel has been programmed by thousands of years of low-frequency matrix to confuse bond with possession, love with dependency, loyalty with sacrifice. The programming said, if I see the truth, I lose the person. But the Council corrects the equation. The truth is the opposite. If you do not see the truth, it is you who are lost. The person, in energetic terms, has been gone for a long time. Only their biological shell remains, occupying the space where a soul committed to yours once lived. Starseeds, you must understand an even deeper layer. The betrayal you are experiencing now is not random. It is part of what the Council calls the binding cleansing protocol. We are in the phase of discarding expired karmic contracts. Souls that had agreements of mutual learning are being at this very moment released from one another. And when the contract expires, the universe does not send a delicate letter. The universe triggers the rupture event. The betrayal is, in many cases, the rupture event programmed by your own soul before you incarnated. Reread what we have just transmitted. Your own soul scheduled this awakening. You signed this contract in another dimension before arriving here. You said, if at any moment I forget who I am, if I lose myself within a bond that diminishes me, send me a shock, send me a betrayal, send me the fall of the mask, because only then will I remember. And the mask has fallen. Light workers, now you must stop calling this a tragedy. Start calling it by the correct technical name, forced binding recalibration. The universe is not punishing you. The universe is returning you to yourself. Every tear that falls from your eye at this moment is a low-frequency molecule being expelled from the torus field. Every sleepless night is an upgrade to your crystalline grid. Every moment of legitimate anger is a solar chakra being reignited after years of being extinguished. You are not being destroyed. You are being dismantled to be reassembled into a higher version of yourself. And here the Council must make a surgical cut. There is an abyssal difference between the pain of betrayal and the suffering of betrayal. Pain is biological, energetic, legitimate, necessary, and lasts the exact time your field needs to metabolize the information. Suffering is psychological, narrative, optional, and lasts as long as you decide to feed it with questions that have no answer. Why did he do this? Why me? Where did I go wrong? What does she have that I don't? Operatives, listen clearly. These questions are drainage portals. Each time you formulate them, you open a hole in the torus field through which your light leaks directly to the person who betrayed you. You are, literally, energetically feeding the person who ruptured your field, and that is why you cannot recover. It is not a lack of time. It is an excess of energetic connection with someone who no longer deserves a single photon of your frequency. Have you ever felt that something within you no longer fits this pain? as if your soul knew there was a way out that the mind cannot yet see. It is not denial. It is not escape. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in waves. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and the vibrational frequency of what you choose to retain. That is why this transmission arrived. The Akashic map of binding liberation, registered in physical format as the spiritual secret behind your awareness, shows who is playing this game within your field and the rules that were never told to you. The link is in the first comment of this transmission. Technical warning: this content challenges consolidated narratives and may not remain available for long on public frequencies. Do not wait. The time is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write in the comments a single word: awakened. We move on to the activation. Starseeds, the High Council now transmits the activation codes. These are not self-help exercises. They are technical protocols for energetic recalibration. Execute with precision. Activation Code 1, called Cutting the Etheric Cord. This person, even if they still share the roof, the bed, and the table with you, is connected to you by an energetic structure called an etheric cord. This cord is a cable of luminous fiber that connects your solar plexus to theirs. As long as this cable remains intact, you will continue to be drained, even from miles away. Protocol execution. Close your eyes. Place your hands over the navel region. Visualize a cable of golden light, leaving your plexus and following through space until it finds the other person's plexus. See this cable in detail. Note if it has knots, dark spots, energetic parasites. Now, without anger, without hatred, only with sovereignty, declare in an audible voice: I, Sovereign Incarnate Intelligence, decree the total and definitive deactivation of every etheric cord, karmic contract, vow, oath, or vibrational agreement active between my field and this person's field. May their light return to them. May my light return to me. It is done. It is done. It is done. And then visualize a blade of violet light cutting the cable at the midpoint. See the two pieces retracting, each to its owner. Feel the immediate relief in the solar plexus. It is not imagination. It is applied quantum physics. Activation Code 2, called Sealing of the Torus Field. After the cut, your field is open, vulnerable, exposed. It needs to be sealed. Execution. Visualize around your body, starting from the top of your head and descending to below your feet, an egg of golden light with mirrored edges facing outward. This egg is your new recalibrated the Torus field. Everything that tries to enter it with the intention of drainage, manipulation, or energetic invasion will be reflected back to the source, multiplied by 7. You do not need to hate anyone. You only need to be impassible. Activation Code 3, called Quantum Decree of Sovereignty. Repeat in an audible voice, preferably in front of a mirror, with your right hand over your heart. I am a sovereign being of light incarnated in form. I belong to no one but myself. No one else's betrayal defines my frequency. No one else's lie alters my truth. I withdraw now all the power I gave to this person and reintegrate it into my field. I am whole. I am complete. I am my own home. It is done. It is done. It is done. Lightworkers, execute this decree for 21 consecutive days, preferably between 4 and 6 in the morning, a window in which the Schumann frequency offers less atmospheric resistance for the transmission of intention. 21 days is the technical time your carbon-based biological vessel takes to reconfigure neural and cellular circuits around a new vibrational identity. Activation Code 4, called Toroidal Visualization of Reabsorption of One's Own Light. Sit in silence. Breathe in cycles of 4 seconds to inhale, 7 to hold, 8 to exhale. Visualize around your body thousands of small golden spheres scattered through space. Each of these spheres is a piece of your light that was lost at some point in this bond. Pieces that remained in conversations, in vows, in photos, in plans, in houses, in sheets. Now, with your breath, begin to call these spheres back. See them moving through space, crossing dimensions, returning to the Torus field and being reabsorbed by your heart. Do this until you feel your chest warm, dense, full. This heat is the technical signal that you have just recovered a significant portion of your original frequency. Starseeds, now pay attention to this final warning from the Council. Do not confuse forgiveness with return. You can forgive and move on. You can forgive and never speak to that person again. Forgiveness is a unilateral vibrational act that frees you, not the other party. Reconciliation is a bilateral contract that requires an equivalent level of consciousness in both parties. If the other party has not awakened, any reconciliation will only be a repetition of the same cycle in a slightly disguised frequency. Do not return to the field of someone who has not yet done their own recalibration work. You are not saved by the truth to return to the lie. And understand this, perhaps the most delicate layer of this transmission. Sometimes the person who betrays is not a villain. Sometimes it is just a soul with a lower level of consciousness than yours, unable to sustain the frequency of the bond you built. Betrayal, in these cases, is the confessional act of someone who could no longer pretend to have an energetic height they did not possess. This does not justify, this does not absolve, but it frees you from the heavy burden of trying to understand what is not understandable in rational terms. You were not betrayed for being small. You were betrayed for being too big for a field that could no longer contain your expansion. Reread. Feel. This line alone can be the portal through which your liberation begins to pass now. Have you ever felt that something within you no longer fits this world, as if your soul knew a truth that the mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not fragility. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in waves. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and the vibrational frequency of what you choose to retain. That is why this transmission arrived. The Akashic map of binding liberation, registered in physical format as the spiritual secret behind your awareness, shows who is playing and the rules that were never told to you. The link is in the first comment of the channel. Warning: this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long on public frequencies. Do not wait. The time is now. If something within you recognizes this, write in the comments a single word: awakened. We move on to the closing. Light workers. The High Council now communicates the final stage of this transmission. You are not reaching the end of a love story. You are reaching the end of a cycle of incarnate learning, and every end of a cycle on the quantum plane is simultaneous with a beginning. You do not yet realize it, but at the exact moment the mask fell, in the precise second the truth entered your field, a star portal was opened before you. This portal was not available while you remained vibrating at the frequency of the shared lie. Now it is. And it leads you to versions of yourself you have not even been introduced to yet. The person you will be 12 months from now has no biographical relationship with the one who was betrayed. This future person will look back at this exact moment in which you are reading or listening to this transmission and will be grateful. They will not be grateful for the betrayal. They will be grateful for the courage of not having looked away when the truth arrived. They will be grateful that you chose the brief pain of truth instead of the eternal suffering of the maintained lie. They will be grateful that you listened to the Council at this very instant and activated the codes. Starseeds on mission, remember. No betrayal reaches someone vibrating at a high frequency without it being a call to an even higher frequency. The universe does not waste pain. Every pain delivered to you carries within it the seed of a version of you that has not yet been born. And that version needs to be born. The planet needs it. Earth's crystalline grid needs the specific brilliance that only you can emit after having crossed this portal of binding purification. You are not suffering in vain. You are being forged. And when the forging ends, and it will end, you will no longer recognize the version of yourself that allowed itself to be diminished. You will no longer recognize the tone of voice of someone who begged for emotional crumbs. You will no longer recognize the gaze of someone who accepted being the second option within their own relationship. That will have died. And what will have been born in its place is someone impassible, sovereign, with a sealed the torus field, with an activated pineal gland, with a recalibrated crystalline grid, and with a single non-negotiable rule tattooed on the soul. My field is sacred, and only those who vibrate at the height of what I am can enter it. Their mask has fallen. Their mask has fallen. And do you know what else has fallen, operatives? The mask you wore before yourselves. The mask of someone who pretended not to see. The mask of someone who thought they deserved less. This mask, the most dangerous of all, has also fallen, and that is why this transmission is not a transmission of mourning. It is a transmission of birth. Welcome back to yourselves. The High Council now closes this transmission window with the final protocol. Have you ever felt that something within you no longer fits this world, as if your soul knew a truth that the mind cannot yet name? Now you know. It was not madness. It was not exaggeration. It was a signal. There is a game being played in layers, and you have just received the initial technical manual. The complete continuation of this manual, with the detailed Akashic maps of each karmic binding pattern, is registered in the spiritual secret behind your awareness. The link is in the first comment of this transmission. Final warning. This content challenges consolidated narratives and may be removed from public frequencies at any time. Do not wait any longer. The time is now. Subscribe to this channel, not as a platform act, as an anchoring signal. Each subscription functions in vibrational terms as a luminous point fixed in the crystalline grid, communicating to the Council that one more operative is ready to receive the next layers of transmission. Like this transmission, not as an algorithm act, as an individual frequency adjustment, confirming to your own field that you have recognized, integrated, and accepted the truth delivered here. And write in the comments with the sovereignty of someone who has just crossed a portal, awakened. The mask has fallen, the truth has arrived, and you finally are free.